Sit by myself, talking to the
Moshood Kashimawo Olawale MKO Abiola was born on August 24, 1937 to Alhaji Salawu Adelekan Akanni Abiola and Mrs. Seliat Wuraola Ayinke Abiola in Abeokuta, Ogun. He was not formally named until he was 15 years old. Prior to that, he was known only as Kashimawo, meaning let's wait and see in the Yoruba language. There were signs in his early life that MKO had come to this world to struggle and overcome. As his aging father fell on hard time, MKO was forced to start taking financial responsibility for himself and his family. As early as 9 years old, which was when he started his first business selling firewood. After completing school, he left home to work as a clerk at Barclays Bank in Ibadan, the western region of Nigeria. The very same day his mother died, Abiola was determined to make a success for himself. MKO Abiola's journey to entrepreneurial success was invigorated by his Scots University education. On his return to Nigeria in 1960, he was ready to put to practice all that he had learned. 10 years after achieving his qualification as a chartered accountant from the University of Glasgow, Scotland, that MKO Abiola established his reputable as an entrepreneur force to be reckoned with international. His roles as senior vice president for African and the Middle East at the ITT, International Telephone and Telegraph. He had gained immense international business exposure and was named International Businessman of the Year in 1980. Abiola's international business achievements were partially responsible for the fact that he was made the head of Nigerian Stock Exchange in 1990. His philanthropy came into full swing in 1970. He used his wealth to address some of the challenges he encountered in his early days. In 1987, he received the highest honor available to a commoner in the Yoruba tribe. He was made the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land. In effect, he made the field marshal of the Yoruba people. MKO Abiola took an interest in politics early on in life. In 1993, he won the presidential primaries of the Social Democratic Party (SDP) and officially declared his candidacy for the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. A week before the primary election, MKO had to go on national television and participate in a debate with his opponent, Bashir Tofa. He was grilled by members of the opposition party on a number of issues. One of these were his own interest in the oil industry and the management of Nigeria's petroleum sector. Even though the military sought to annul the election, the open ballot system used in the June 12, 1993 presidential election meant the result of the election were known very quickly after voting. MKO Abiola won in 19 out of 30. He sought to focus on what the June 12, 1993 presidential election meant for Nigeria. Abiola managed to win a state that many would have thought inconclusive for a southerner. His victory in Kano State in the northern part of Nigeria was a measure of the extent of which he had become a breach. The then military head of state, General Ibrahim Babangida, was eventually forced to relinquish power, but rather than handing over to MKO Abiola, he handed power to another unelected man from MKO Abiola's home region, Chief Ernest Sonekan. MKO put out another statement in response to this development. MKO Abiola went to many of the world's major capitals and sought and received assurance of support for his mandate. He was criticized for leaving Nigeria while his supporters were being killed during military crackdown on their protests. At the inauguration of Nelson Mandela in South Africa, MKO sat at the seat reserved for Nigeria's head of state. On his return to Nigeria, he formally declared himself President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. During a meeting with the United States delegation headed by Ambassador Thomas, MKO Abiola collapsed and died. According to mainstream reports, this happened after he drank a cup of tea at the meeting. The sudden death of MKO Abiola on July 7, 1998 was breaking news around the world. He was 60 years old.